all have a purpose. All of us. No exceptions. Hi, my name is David McLeod, and I'm here to share with you a presentation about today's message from my program, The Magic of I Am. Thank you for joining me. Have you ever met someone who seemed totally content with pretty much every aspect of his or her life? I've met quite a few people like that in my time, and the one common thing I've noticed about all of them is, well, they seem to be very clear about their overall purpose in life. Now, I have to admit that I didn't really see this connection right away. It took me quite a few years, and meeting quite a few happy and content individuals and asking the right questions before I found the common theme among them. Another thing I've noticed is that purpose is one of those things that seems to elude a lot of people. In fact, I think many of us find ourselves going through life rather aimlessly, as if we are searching for the one thing that can bring us joy. We end up trying all kinds of things, some of which actually do seem satisfying, well, for a while at least. But often, we end up reaching a point after following a certain path where we suddenly wake up and maybe slap our foreheads and realize that we've taken a wrong turn somewhere. Well, take enough wrong turns and what do you think happens? Frustration? Disappointment? Maybe even hopelessness? Sure was the case for me. I can confirm that I had no conscious sense of my purpose for the first 40 or so years of my life. I was one of those people that would get an idea from someone, think it sounded great, and then dive right in, only to find out later that it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I can't tell you how many things in my life seemed like good ideas at the time, only to turn out to be, well, let's just say less than optimal. Now, although I wouldn't have articulated it quite this way back then, I was doing things that didn't really express who I was. Not surprising, really, when you remember that I didn't really know who I was in the first place. And of course, failing to express who I really was turned out to be the true source of my frustration and dissatisfaction. Once I began to get clear on who I really was, an amazing thing happened. My purpose started to crystallize right in front of me, and I came to know that I was here to help people. But what was I supposed to help them with? Well, that turned out to be another head-slapping moment. Once I saw it, it was so obvious to me, I wondered how I had ever missed it. You see, my own journey consisted of 4 basic steps. First, I chose at a very young age to deny who I was, preferring instead to allow other people to define me according to their perspectives. Second, after forgetting that I had made this choice, I started noticing how other people in my life were stepping into their own sovereignty, but I believed I couldn't do that, and so I very gradually began to grow resentful and angry. Third, my anger started coming out sideways and hurting people I cared for, to the point where I decided I had no choice but to change my own way of being in the world. And fourth, I did the work necessary to rediscover who and what I really am, and my whole life turned around. If I had not taken this particular journey, I would not have understood the pain of forgetting who I really am, which, as I see it, is a serious malady that affects a great many people in the world. So I now see that, simply stated, my purpose is to help people remember who they really are. I can tell you, without a doubt, every time I see someone else's eyes just light up as they remember the truth about themselves, I feel a great deal of joy and satisfaction. Now, you have a purpose too. It may be the same as someone else's purpose, or it may not. That doesn't really matter. What matters is that only you can accomplish this purpose in the way that you can do it. No one else can do it that way for you. And if you aren't really sure what your purpose is yet, well, I can promise you, you will find it intertwined in the greatest challenges that show up in your life. Because getting through these challenges prepares you for bringing your purpose more fully into the world. This week, I encourage you to commune with your soul and gain a clearer understanding of your purpose. Then just write it down as short and clear and succinctly as you can. Then give yourself permission to bring all your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings into alignment with that purpose. Believe me, you'll be glad you did. Have a wonderful, purposeful week.